'Tis the season for gift giving and gift getting and all kinds of associated guilt and trauma. Welcome back to the 50/50 Project, where every week I talk through an item on a list made up of one thing I've learned for each year I've lived. This week, we're swinging back into the stuff category for thing number 37. Don't let a gift become a burden. We're less than 10 days from Christmas as I record this episode, so gifts are very much on the brain at the moment, I think. I've always been a little bit of a rebel when it comes to gifting. I don't give gifts just because a holiday or a birthday rolls around. I don't actually give many gifts at all. I only give what I sort of feel called to give. If I see something that really speaks someone's name, even if it's in the middle of July, I'm very likely to pick it up and either give it to them then or tuck it away for Christmas, even if this isn't someone who would normally be on my gift list. And on the flip side of that, I don't always give a gift to the people closest to me if there isn't something they particularly want or need or that especially stands out as something they would really love. I've just never been the kind of person who starts in the fall with a list of people I'm obligated to buy for and plows dutifully through it, checking off all the boxes with random lotions or socks or whatever. It really has to speak to me, and it needs to say your name in particular. And my gift list changes every year. The fact that I found, I don't know, Ted something last year doesn't mean that he's always and forever on the list. It just means that this particular time, I saw something that I really wanted him to have. He may never get another gift from me. And it's not because I like him less this year than I did last. It's just sort of cosmically unpredictable with me, maybe. So already, I think that suggests that I have an attitude toward gift giving that is somewhere outside the norm. And maybe it's even somewhere beyond what's considered polite. I hope not, but it's possible. And I think I have a similarly outlier ish view on the receiving of gifts and on what can or should happen afterward. I will say at the outset that I love gifts. I love gifts that come straight off my wish list from someone who knows exactly what I want and gets me only that, even at the expense of a pure surprise. But I also love surprise tokens, which may or may not be something that I love or need. But the act of gift giving is very touching to me. I've taken that quiz associated with the four love languages, and gifts are either my top or my second highest scoring category. I can't remember now exactly. But anyway, a gift tells me that someone was thinking of me and cared enough to buy or find or make me something, and then to either ship it to me or give it to me. It means that I'm in your mind somewhere and you care. And I find that really endearing and meaningful and powerful. Now get ready because this, I'm told anyway, is a shocking follow on. I always appreciate a gift, but I don't always keep it. As I've mentioned several times before at this point, I'm a little bit of a minimalist. I live in a very small footprint, and I have neither the storage space nor really the inclination to hold on to things that aren't well suited for me. So sometimes that means accepting a gift, expressing real gratitude for it, and this is key, feeling a real gratitude for it. I'm not talking about fake smiling through the presentation. I'm not calling up some other friend to talk about what shit taste this gift exhibits. I'm not handing it back to the giver and asking for a return slip or telling them to try again. I hate all of that stuff. It's ungracious. I believe in accepting a gift wholeheartedly as the expression of care and love that it is, embracing the gesture completely. And then, maybe the next day, deciding whether the object itself is a keeper or not. Because really, unless you're a raging materialist or something, the object, the thing, the gift itself isn't the point anyway. It's really the gesture, the act, the love that underlies the thing. And that survives whether the lotion gift basket or the set of mugs or the earrings that are made out of metal that I'm allergic to stick around or not. I think this is worth talking about because I see a lot of people carrying gifts as burdens, transforming gifts into burdens. And I've talked to a lot of friends in the last couple of years who really want to simplify their homes and declutter their lives a little bit. And they really struggle with letting go of things that were given to them as gifts because it feels ungrateful at first. They've said it's hard to donate or even dispose of this category of things. And I really do get that. I used to feel that way too. And for many years, through many moves, I toted around a lot of items that came to me as gifts, even though I didn't have the room for them or get much use out of them, or in some cases, even really like them very much. But I loved the gesture and I loved the person who made it. So it can feel really complicated. Eventually, though, I came to the conclusion that for me, it is about the gesture and not the object itself. So I can open, let's say, a beautifully wrapped cookbook chosen for me by a friend, and I can feel legitimately thrilled to have been thought of and cared for in that way. I can sit beside them and page appreciatively through the lovely photographs of French cuisine, profusely thank my friend and mean every single word, and still decide a week or two later that I'm going to hold tight to the memory of the gift, but I'm going to pass the book itself on to maybe a neighbor who actually cooks because I don't really. And I think that's okay. I don't think it's an affront to the gift giver because their objective has already been met. Their intention was to give me a token that showed me their affection. Their intention was never really to ensure that I maintained physical possession of a book about French pastries for the next 3 decades. And so their gift succeeded wildly because I grabbed onto the affection they offered, and I'll always keep it with me, long after I've let the book itself go, right? And this is particularly important as we get older, I think, because more and more of the things that we carry originate with those who are no longer with us. Sometimes it's a gift an aunt gave you when you were 12. And here you are carrying a porcelain ballerina figurine around with you wherever you go, even though you don't love it and its eyes are actually kind of creepy. Or maybe it's several pieces of furniture that you inherited when a grandparent died. And when those are things that you love and cherish and you want to keep close, that's fine. It's totally worth the extra effort to dust that antique lamp. It's worth the space in the moving van that that old oak dresser takes up. I have a few things that belong to those I've loved and lost, and I will never get rid of them. So I'm definitely not here to tell you that you have to let go of anything that you want to keep and carry. But I do think that if there are things that are weighing or slowing you down, or that you're tired of carrying them, it's okay to let them go. That huge, heavy television your late father bought you for your first apartment, that may be something you want to keep forever. But if it's becoming too much to carry, I do think it's okay to set it down. I mean, when you're dealing with family heirlooms, be sure to ask other family members or friends before you just drop off the inherited family jewels at Goodwill, because that's just basic low bar decency. Always ask. But at the end of the day, that TV isn't your dad. That large ceramic cat statue isn't your grandmother. These are actual conversations, by the way, that I've had to have with myself at various points in my life. Of course, keep all of it if you want to. But I think sometimes we need to hear that it's okay to put some stuff down because I really think you can do that without putting the person or your memories of them or the regard and love you'll always feel for them down with it. Finally, I would just say that I have learned that I have to give other people the same options that I'm claiming for myself here. So I try to give gifts with no strings attached. I try to remember that gift giving is a really free thing, if that makes any sense. When I'm doing it right, it's not about reciprocity or caring about whether the receiver reciprocates. And it's really not about whether the gift, once given, is kept forever. I try to always remember to say, hey, hope you can use this, hope you like it, but if not, don't hesitate to pass it on. I really do try to say that, and I really do mean it. Because what I hope the fictitious Ted, for example, has gotten out of the gift I gave him last Christmas is a sense that he is valued and he is loved. I really want Ted to hold on to that. But what he does with the crock pot that came with it is just kind of his business. Okay, so that's about it for now. I hope you are well on your way to having all the gifts you plan to give this year nailed down and wrapped up. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I'll be back next week with thing number 38.